to call on the cards to offer us whatever messages we need to hear, see, feel, take in, and receive. We thank the cards for being in our circle tonight. Another form of earth element, but also a little bit of that element of the ether. So we allow the cards to speak to us in whatever way they need to, because we know the cards do not lie. So for our, we have a past, present, and future card. For the past card, it's interesting. I pulled Wheel of Fortune. I always say it that way. If you go back to the last moon circle with the full moon in Sagittarius, that strawberry moon, this was pulled for our future card. And I did say it like that, by the way. But now we're pulling it for our past card. Well, okay, like what's the message there? Well, we're at a chance to begin again, right? It's a new moon. It's the first new moon of summer. We're halfway through the year. It's a new season. There's a lot of potential to shift our karma and to shift our evolution and to shift our energy. But we've got to decide if we want to do that, right? It's also interesting because we have Jupiter on this card. And Jupiter is the planet of growth and expansion. And, you know, with this being pulled as our past card, maybe we're being asked to look back at that past full moon, the one we just had in Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. Sagittarius is the sign of growth, joy, positivity, expansion, fortune, luck, abundance. Jupiter is that planet as well. So go back over the past 2 weeks and look at what came up under the full moon. Is it still coming up now? Or have new issues come up since the full moon up to now? You know, what is coming up that might seem a little bit like deja vu? Do you have the same experiences coming up again? The same opportunities? Just the same interactions? All of that is coming up for you to decide if you want it to keep coming up round and round and round again and again, right? Or if you are ready to learn a new lesson. And again, when you shift up into that new evolution, it's like a vortex. We're still spinning around and around and again. Even though we decide to learn something new, we're going to have to learn that lesson over and over again until we decide to pick again something else new. So give yourself credit, give yourself grace for where you are, for what's coming up, and, you know, embrace the fact that you have free will to decide where you go from here. Do you want to continue to go through life in the same way? That's okay if you do, if you're cool where you are. Or are you ready for a new challenge? Are you ready for a new lesson? It's all up to you. For our present card, I pulled the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is all about philanthropy. It's all about giving in order to receive, giving back and receiving tenfold, and also giving a little bit to yourself. Notice this orange that the Queen of Pentacles is wearing. This is representing our sacral chakra. This is where we hold the energies of self-worth, of pleasure, of the things that bring us joy, like our hobbies and personal interests. And so the Queen of Pentacles knows that she has to nurture all of those things that make her feel good. And she also has to nurture her feelings themselves, the feelings and the emotions in her sacral chakra. And by tending to herself, mothering herself, and really tapping into her creative flow, she finds more abundance. I also think it's interesting that we're pulling this right now, considering we're in a Cancerian moon, the energy of the mother, the energy of a moon that is ruled by the moon. Cancer is ruled by the moon. So very moony moon right now, very moony card. Now, also thinking about that mother archetype, that mother energy, it is time to give to the causes where we want to see change for the greater good, for positivity. So if you've been wanting to give your time, your energy, physical money, whatever it is time to give that out and trust that it will come back. I just think it's funny right now because in my own personal experience, I was reflecting this morning after I pulled this card, and I thought to myself, how is this happening in my own life, or how can I continue to allow it to happen? Well, it's funny. Tomorrow I have a donation-based class. Monday I had a free class. Saturday I had a free class. I'm doing this free moon circle. Last week I did a couple of free classes as well. I've been giving away more free offerings over the past few weeks that I usually do, and ironically I've had more money come in than usual as well. So you can see that the more that you give, and it doesn't have to be your money, it can be your time, it can be your service, it can be a listening ear to somebody, it can be a smile, but the more that you give, the more that you will receive. Now let's flip it for just a moment. You also have to give to yourself, because you cannot pour from an empty cup, right? We know the saying, but it's true. So you do have to shower yourself with a little bit of this energy that you're trying to give to others. So, take care of yourself, rest, nurture your energy, and then you're gonna feel more charged up, handle your emotions. You'll feel more stable and ready to channel your energy and go after these causes that are really driving you and fueling you right now. Now for our future card, I pulled the Eight of Wands reversed. And anytime we receive a card in reverse, it's going to flip the energy a little bit, put it into more of a protective stance. So normally the Eight of Wands are about emotional alchemy, they're about magic, they're about co-creation. Anytime we have the number 8, it's about energy being like given out and returned. It's kind of this karmic loop of giving and receiving. It can be great partnerships or just great like, a positive return on philanthropy again. But when we have reversed Eight of Wands, this is about protecting yourself, slowing down a little bit, taking more caution, listening and following your heart, paying attention to what just doesn't feel right or what you quite can't breathe into. Those are the things that you maybe don't want to move forward with. And, this is pulled as our future card. So I think this is about decision making, whether things play out over this next season of summer or over the rest of the year or whatever it may be. But as you start to navigate the next few months, you're going to have to decide, where you put your energy and what moves forward and what doesn't. This Eight of Wands in reverse is also saying that now is maybe not the best time to go into partnerships with people. Partially because, we're in summertime, everybody's at their loudest, brightest, lightest, and that might not always be consistent. It's also a time when people tend to be more showy or out there. Again, that might not be authentic or it may not be consistent. It's also not a time to partner up with people because we're not quite sure where we are right now. We're halfway through the year and we have ideas, but we need to be really certain and trusting in the people that we want to, give that information to or, put our name with. A lot of this energy of this moon is about the concept of the name, okay? So the mother naming her child, maybe even naming the child while they're in the womb. The mother naming the child that never makes it out of the womb, right? There's that energy of that grief and that loss as well. These things might rise to the surface right now with this moon, but also that name of Rudra getting his name and finding more peace. We need to make sure that we have people in our lives that really see us for who we are and want to bond and unite with us and partner with us as we are, and they don't want to change us or don't have some expectation of us that we can't meet. So, over the next few weeks or over the next 6 months, over this near future, pay attention to the partnerships and the bonds that you're forming, and also any way that you might need to pull back the reins a little bit and protect your energy when it comes to how you're trying to create and also create abundance and finance.